You got to figure out not only will Jalen Tolbert be receiver 4, but could he possibly challenge Michael Gallup? Let's talk about it. Come here, girl. She's not listening. Roll it. Yo, what's going on, Cowboys fans? It's your boy Foots here. And I kind of teased the lead with the Tolbert Gallup situation, but there is a lot to talk about with this receiver room. I'm really enjoying my Father's Day. Shout out to everybody who is enjoying their Father's Day. Oh, you know what? I got a shout out. I saw somebody at 7-Eleven today who supports the channel. Let me go give them a quick shout out real quick. I wrote their name and I want to shout them out. I shout out and show love to everybody who supports our channel. Y'all see Panda in the screen. She wanted a cameo. A lot of y'all were asking about her last video. So this is my dog Panda. She's going to be in the video. Let me go get this shout out real quick. That was his name, Daniel Woods. Shout out to you, Daniel Woods. I saw him at 7-Eleven. Cool brother. You know, Nation, we are a family, man. You guys support my music. You guys support everything I do. And I just appreciate you. Shout out to you, Daniel Woods. Thank you for being a fan of the channel. Thank you for everybody who's a fan of the channel who's grown with us. 30K subs. I don't take that for granted, y'all. All right, so on this good Sunday, I kind of wanted to go into depth about the receiver room. What it was, what it is, and how it's grown. So before we could take a look forward, I wrote it down. Let's take a look back. This time last year, there was a lot of panic. And I guess I could say now, looking at it, rightfully so, because you had guys like Dennis Houston who they were kind of dependent on. And I knew, I had the foresight to know who CeeDee Lamb was. And I kind of knew that even with letting Amari Cooper go, CeeDee Lamb would be able to grow. And I think that was one of the right things that had to happen. You had a guy like Amari Cooper who can still play. Make no mistake about that. But I think what it was is you have an OC and Kellen Moore who was still, I hate to say it, learning on the job. Now he's got a great opportunity with the Chargers to kind of grow. But I still think that there were a lot of times that Kellen Moore just didn't know enough. And that's no fault on his own. He should have never got the job in the first place. You just don't see that happen anywhere else with the Dallas Cowboys. Most times, if you're an OC, you had to put your time, your work in, doing quality control stuff, being a tight ends coach, maybe being a quarterbacks coach for years and years and years. Even Kyle Shanahan, he had to put his years in under his father, but he had to learn and do things the right way, learn how to practice, learn how to coach the O-line up, learn how to coach every position group up. You just don't get handed the keys to the offense of the Dallas Cowboys. And I get him and Dak were buddies and all that, but that doesn't mean that he deserved to be an offensive coordinator. I think at times we saw that. So you had a guy like Coop who demanded the ball. Then you had a guy like CeeDee Lamb who's a young up-and-comer, and you saw CeeDee Lamb's growth. Year 1, 900 yards. Year 2, 1,100 yards. Year 3, 1,300 yards. CeeDee has continued to grow. But I think that his growth, he was only allowed to grow when Amari Cooper left. So that was kind of like the good, the bad. The bad was you didn't have anybody else who could help. Michael Gallup took a severe step back, unfortunately. He just wasn't right all year. He missed time early, came back, just wasn't. He just didn't have that burst that was needed. And that injury is a severe injury. Some guys bounce back and some guys can't. But taking a look back, I will say this. We have a true number 1, top 5, potentially receiver in the NFL in CeeDee Lamb. People say you move him to the slot to hide him. No. Because we saw even in the San Francisco game, he can win on the edge, he can win inside. You move him in the slot to dictate coverage. So now defenses have to tell you what they're doing coverage-wise, because if they're going to use an overhang defender, if they're going to roll their nickel to him, whatever they're going to do defensively, when they do those little things, now you get a beat on what they're trying to do, and you could call your offense from there. CeeDee Lamb is a 1. He needs to get a certain amount of touches every game. It just has to happen. He's explosive. His run after the catch is amazing. And to be quite honest, the only true prospect for the next 4 or 5 years that I see that is really better than him in every aspect of the game is probably Jamar Chase. Everybody else, if he reaches his ceiling, CeeDee Lamb has top 3 potential. And I truthfully believe that. And I truthfully think that, you know, the right OC can unlock him even more. 1,300 yards isn't even close. CeeDee Lamb could be an 1,800-yard guy. I mean, I believe that. If he's focused, if him and Dak are on the same page. But we got to talk about the bad about last year. Noah Brown was a nice piece. But his first 4 or 5 years in the league, his best attribute was what? He's a blocker. You can insert him in the run game. That's not a guy that you need to be your Robin. And then you talk about guys like Dennis Houston. I like him, but every year there's a receiver who Cowboys fans fall in love with. Last year it was Dennis Houston. Well, the truth is, against NFL corners, a player like Dennis Houston just isn't enough. He just doesn't have enough juice. And so at times, you saw that, listen, we love Dak Prescott, but if you're not going to get these guys, if you're not going to get this guy, stop, sit, Panda. I know you want to be on camera. Relax. If you're not going to get this guy NFL help, real NFL help, and Michael Gallup isn't right, then I think that you could be in big trouble. Panda, if you can't relax, you're going to go inside. Because I know the people want to see you, but you're all over the place. Relax. Okay? Relax. Dog break. Y'all know how this is. All my dog parents, they love you. So if you're not, okay, let's go. Come on. I love my girl, but this isn't a dog YouTube channel. This is a Cowboys YouTube channel. You guys want the content, and I'm here for it. So I had to give her a break. She'll be back after I'm done with this video. So that's a look back. There wasn't enough. Now, some of that, we got to be honest, the playoff game, play calling, and quarterback play was awful. There's no way around it. I don't make excuses. You'll never get that on this channel. Dak Prescott was not good in the playoff game. He was really good against Tampa Bay, but in the San Francisco game, he wasn't good enough. But also play calling wasn't good enough, and then receiver play wasn't good enough outside of CeeDee Lamb. What did the Cowboys do? They gathered this information, and they said, we can't leave that to chance because of the team we have, because of the defense that we have. We cannot leave that to chance. Enter Brandin Cooks. Brandin Cooks who, by the way, as we look forward, we have the information that even with the bad Texans team, 2,000-yard seasons, last year on a down year, he had 600 yards. He's had 6,000-yard seasons. Different teams, doesn't matter. He comes in, he's a true assassin. The difference is, I don't know outside of maybe the Rams, and I don't know if Cooper Kupp was truthfully in his bag. I don't know if he's had a Batman type player in CeeDee Lamb, like a player the caliber of what CeeDee Lamb will be. And so now when Dallas is able to dictate coverages and you have a more experienced play caller, because the truth is this, and this is one thing that I really wanted to hit on. Mike McCarthy has been around the NFL game long enough to know I know how to exploit matchups, and I know that when I can dictate coverage, I'm going to take exactly what the defense gives us. I don't think that Kellen Moore did a great job of that. And I think that that's what Mike McCarthy and Schottenheimer bring, that we're just going to make it plain for Dak. Play action. When we get loaded boxes, hey, we're going to take our chances on the edge. When they're playing off, hey, light box, six-man box, whatever the case may be, we're going to run the football. And you have an offensive line that can run the football. Sorry if it's a little loud. Kids, Father's Day, cookouts. I'm outside. It's all good. But the truth of the matter is, with Brandin Cooks, you now have a receiver who can consistently beat a second corner, a number 2 corner. You have a consistent receiver who could do that. That's important. That's needed. I think that Dak needed that. I think that if you had more of that T.Y. Hilton in your offense early on, which is, to be honest, T.Y. Hilton gave you a lot of good minutes. I think that Brandin Cooks is an upgrade over T.Y. Hilton. Like, I think we all can agree with that. And so now you can't dictate if you want to leave an overhang over CeeDee Lamb and you want to use resources on him, well, now your number 2 corner better be able to hold up against the speedster who is Brandin Cooks. You heard the coaches and Dak talk about it. You know, he's a Ferrari out there. And Dak throws a great deep ball. If you're going to give him those looks, and there's just not a lot of good cornerback duos in the league. Thank God the Cowboys had one of them. But, like, we're going to stress that other side of the ball. That other side of the field if you're trying to take away CeeDee Lamb. The wild card is this. The wild card is who? The wild card is Jalen Tolbert. When I studied Jalen Tolbert coming out of South Alabama, it was like, man, you see the twitch, you see the movement, you see the catch, you see he could play all 3 receiver positions. You've seen all of those things. You saw it. But then I think he got to the NFL and the lights got a little bright because this isn't South Alabama. This isn't the Senior Bowl. This is live bullets. And he had good games against Power 5 schools. But this isn't Power 5, baby. You're going against the best of the best. And I think that kind of overwhelmed Tolbert. I think he was able to get back in his bag in the offseason and say, hey, let me just be good one day, one step, one route at a time. And I don't think that I've ever heard a coaching staff praise a year 2 jump the way that they have with Jalen Tolbert. So the real battle is this when it comes to wide receiver 3 and wide receiver 4 and those reps and you see how much Tolbert and Dak are working together, and you see these at the Dak yard and all these types of things, will Jalen Tolbert challenge Michael Gallup for receiver 3 reps? For, you know, those auxiliary plays where 1, 2 are taken away, now the seam is maybe open, and that's Jalen Tolbert, where we got him on a nickel because Jalen Tolbert has great size and he has great speed, and we go with Tolbert. Got to remember, guys, Tolbert's a 4'4" athlete. Tall athlete. He can run. Has some run after the catch ability as well. Has he made the jump to say, Michael Gallup, I love you, but I don't know if Michael Gallup has the juice anymore, and I don't know if he'll ever get it back. Yeah, it's one thing to have it in OTAs. Everybody's OTAs and this, that, and the third. Guys, guess what? There's no scheme involved. Nobody's being physical. Corners aren't trying to put their hands on you. It's different when you're out there, live bullets, pass. You're like, man, Michael Gallup just can't separate anymore. You're like, man, you know, Michael Gallup, he just can't separate anymore. That's the battle that I'm watching. I love Simi Fayoko. I love some of the guys on the back end of the roster. But the truth is, those 4 receivers have to get us out of Dodge. And it'll just be about how does that happen. But that is really an underrated battle because I don't think it's just this given that Michael Gallup is your 3 this year. He didn't do enough last year. 400 yards last year wasn't enough. Now, if he's 2019, 1K Gallup, 2020, 800 or 900, whatever it was, Gallup, cool. Yeah, I got that written down, cool. But if he's not that, you guys tell me, what battles are you guys looking forward to? But this receiver battle and this receiver room is far from over. The other thing is this. If there's an injury, I think you feel a lot safer and I think you feel a lot more comfortable if there's an injury today than there was earlier on when we didn't have Cooks, when we didn't know what we know now about Tolbert, because the Tolbert hype is real. For Schottenheimer to come out and say, I've never seen growth like I had from a kid with Jalen Tolbert and just how special he's going to be, that lets me know a lot. You guys let me know your thoughts on this video. You guys let me know your thoughts on the receiver room and the receiver battle. Foots, am I off? Is Foots off? Is it just for sure that Gallup is receiver 3 and Tolbert and there will be no battle, or will there possibly be a battle and Tolbert could challenge? It's your boy Foots as always. Thank you guys for liking, sharing, subscribing. Enjoy this beautiful day. Enjoy your fathers. I got D tackles coming up. I got linebackers coming up. And I got DNs coming up. We're going to talk about these camp battles because the truth is this. You want competition in camp. We're going to monitor these camp battles. We're going to talk about it. We want to see who's winning these jobs. It's your boy Foots as always. Thank you guys for liking, sharing, subscribing. Peace.